because you're there when I awake, and then you give me the lights of day, because the children with you can play. I think I am, 'cause when I speak, you're always there. You even listen what I can tell, 'cause you're my gospel, my daily bread. That's why I think I am.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? If you're tuning into this channel, this is Ludon the Movie Guy. I'm a guy named Ludon, and I really like movies. Sometimes I make movies, sometimes I watch movies, and this channel, this is just for me to express that, so I'm glad you pulled up. Today you're tuning into a series called Movie Time, which is a series where I talk about movies, both new and old. Whatever interests me, whatever movie I watch and randomly get obsessed with, I just talk about it. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about Nacho Libre, which is one of my favorite movies featuring Jack Black. And Jack Black, as you will see, or as you will come to realize as you watch this video, is one of my favorite people in the entirety of the human race. I think Jack Black is just the best of us. He should like lead an army into war. Jack Black would be like the leader of a resistance. Jack Black's awesome. Anyways, yeah, let's get straight into the plot breakdown. For a lot of these older movies, I just break down the plot from beginning to end, so I'm gonna spoil the shit out of Nacho Libre. So yeah, plot breakdown time. Jack Black plays a character named Ignacio. Ignacio has dreams of becoming a luchador, but as we find out early on in the movie, Ignacio's parents actually died when he was a baby, so he was put into this orphanage where he grew up and eventually became a cook. Since he was little, he's had dreams of becoming a luchador, but in his religious ass orphanage, it's banned basically. You can't wrestle because it's a sin. It's against the Bible or whatever, something like that. The movie opens with us seeing him as a kid and seeing him assembling a outfit. Kind of reminds me of Spider-Man 2002 for some weird reason. He assembles this suit, and it's a pretty hilarious way to open the movie because he just puts together a whole wrestling uniform as like an 8-year-old, and you see how cynical and how jaded his face looks because he can't wrestle. Basically, Jack Black's character is a complete outcast from all of the other priests, and he's just their cook. That's how they treat him. And also to explain why Jack Black is white, because I question that a lot. His mom, the character it's explained in this movie, his mom is from Scandinavia and his dad is Mexican, so they created a mixed baby, which actually makes sense. Now, after the scene where we see Jack Black as a little kid, we flash forward to him as an adult, still being a cook for the monastery, cooking for all the little children in the orphanage. His food is kind of shit. It looks like shit. Like, actually, it looks like ass. I'm not gonna lie. Even if I was an orphan and my parents were fucking dead, I'd be crying just like the kids in this movie when they look at his food, bro. But it's only so ass because he doesn't have the budget. Like, they literally have no money in this orphanage because they're a monastery. They're not like a fucking mega church. So it's not like they have readily available like millions of dollars to fund all of this shit. So they're poor basically. And Ignacio cares deeply for the kids and for the orphans, but he can't really fund their food. So the monastery is kind of like, bro, you got to get your shit up. He also struggles with his feelings for Sister, I think this is how you pronounce her name, Encarnacion. I think I said that right. I hope I did. She's a nun that comes in. She's also bad as hell. Yeah, she's a nice, she's a little spicy Latina. That was racist as fuck. I apologize to Mexico. Anyways, she has like big ass doe eyes that, damn, like if I was I'm with Jack Black in this movie, I probably would have folded immediately. I would have like, oh my god. She's a nun though, so they can't do anything because she's a nun. She's not gonna like they're not gonna get freaky because she a nun and he a priest. The nun comes in and kind of stirs things up because she's like the one woman who pulls up, and yeah, Jack Black or Ignacio has clear feelings for her immediately, so things between them kind of get muddy. But basically Ignacio isn't allowed to pursue her because the other priests are like, bruh, you lame, and they like always make a point to embarrass the fuck out of him right in front of him. Like literally, I remember seeing a scene where one of the priests just slaps Jack Black while he's trying to talk to the sister, and it's like, dude, what's wrong with you? Why are you getting on him for no reason? I feel bad for Ignacio at the beginning a lot. But yeah, Ignacio goes out to get chips for the orphanage one night and gets jumped by this dude in an alleyway, this skinny ass dude, and it's like low-key a meet cute because later on him and this dude will form a partnership that will be fucking legendary. But for now, he just gets jumped by him. The dude who jumps him is named Steven, and later adopts the name Esquelito, which I didn't even know. I think that means skeleton in Spanish. He gets fucked up by him. And since there's no chips to put in the bean soup or whatever it is, because it looks like shit, it doesn't look like beans, it looks like feces, he goes to the orphanage and cooks the next morning, and they're like, bro, this is ass. And then he's like, fuck you, I'm gonna go off and do my own thing and make sure the orphans actually can eat this time and eat good food, not the shit food that I cooked for them. And finally he decides, fuck it, I've had dreams of being a luchador, I'm gonna try this out. Because the head, or the biggest luchador, Ramses, he sees Ramses in town, I think the same night he gets jumped, and Ramses is getting allotted by all these people, getting money and all of this shit. So he's like, I aspire to be a great wrestler like Ramses. So yeah, there's also this little boy, I think his name is Chancho, which I don't know what it means in Spanish. I don't even speak Spanish, I'm not gonna lie. I just know a few words like hola, como estás, bien, y tú, mi nombre es Ludon, shit like that. But yeah, he's this chubby, Chancho is this chubby, cute ass kid. I'm not gonna lie. Every time he's on screen, I start smiling. I just kind of want to, I want to give that kid a hug, bro. I bet that motherfucker's like 22 or like 26 now. And if he watches this video, he's probably gonna think I'm a weirdo. But bro, you were such a cute child. I know you're somewhere out there, so like pull up. Let me give you a hug or something. I don't care if you lost all the weight. Come on now. Anyways, after Ignacio runs out of the monastery because he gets frustrated because they're all, the brothers are all just kind of being dicks to him. And he's, like I said, he's going to go into town and he starts hatching his plot. The little kid runs out and he's like, Ignacio, I think your food tastes good. And it's sweet. It's really sweet. But then Ignacio just dips. And when he's in town, he meets up with the dude who jumped him. And he's like, bro, I need your help. Me and you, we're going to form a little tag team and we're going to become like the best wrestlers of all time so we can make a fuck ton of money. And that's what they do, kind of. There's a training montage that ensues, and it's probably the funniest training montage I actually think I've ever seen, because it's not it's not a fucking, they're not getting better at all. They're training and they're just like, they smear shit on their faces. Jack Black gets a grapefruit thrown at his chest and it like, he fucking falls over, and then he runs into a pit, gets hit by a bull. Bro, this training montage is just them doing random bullshit, and then he starts running down the street like he's Ashton Hall. It's fucking hilarious. But after the training montage, they have their first wrestling match and they get their asses completely handed to them. That's one thing about this movie. You see your main character get their ass beat a fuck ton. Esquelito and Nacho get their asses handed to them on the fucking daily. Every match they're in, they get fucked up, bro. It's bad. But they do make a shit ton of money even though they lose, because the crowd goes fucking wild for them. The ladies are basically throwing their panties at him. They're not, I'm lying. Ignacio uses this money to better the orphanage, and he actually makes these kids a good ass salad the next day. And Jared Hess, I feel like, I don't know if this is in the Minecraft movie because I refuse to watch the Minecraft movie, but after having seen this movie and Napoleon Dynamite, I realized that Jared Hess has a weird thing for shots of food on plates. He's really good at composing shots of food on plates. Is that just a trademark of his? Because I like that. His movies make me hungry. Anyways, when he makes the salad, he also gets real close to the sister and starts adding ranch on that shit, and then blows chips on it. It's pretty funny. He's spitting game. After that, he continues to wrestle and continues to get that moolah. You know, he goes crazy. Becoming frustrated though, one time after, actually, wait, fuck. You know, remember that little kid I mentioned earlier? He finds out Ignacio's secret actually at this point. While the wrestling is starting to amp up, Ignacio has a little suit up moment, which again, weirdly reminds me of Spider-Man from 2002. Probably because both of their suits are red and blue, and a lot of these shots, actually no, it's more like the suit up from Batman and Robin where you just get a close up of Jack Black's ass. It's not a close-up, it's more of a medium shot. Film student, yeah, I know my composition, kind of. But you get multiple shots of Jack Black suiting up, and it's fun. And then Chancho's in the back watching, and Jack Black sees him, and he's like, when you're an adult, sometimes you wear stretchy pants. Which is true. I wear stretchy pants. And Chancho's like, I won't tell your secret. And I'm like, because you're fucking adorable. Chancho, bro, jump through the screen and just, yo, you trying to be my son? I'll adopt you. If you need a father in your life, I got you. I'm gonna be there day one. I'm gonna be the dad that stepped up. I'm not about to be the stepdad. I'm sorry. Anyways, they keep wrestling, and at a certain point, Ignacio's like, fuck, we keep losing, bro. We're ass. So Esquelito gets an idea. He's like, bro, I know this good dude. He can give you superpowers for real. You just gotta climb to the top of a cliff and drink the egg of an eagle. Eat the yolk of an egg of an eagle. I'm not gonna lie, bro. There's a lot of weird shit in Jared Hess movies that I love. His characters have like random ass side quests, like that scene in Napoleon Dynamite where Napoleon tries to time travel or some shit. I love that about his movies though. This random side quests make these movies feel, it makes the weird ass worlds that he builds that much more entertaining. Watching Jack Black pour a big ass egg on his face and then fucking belly plant into water is really funny, and it has no right being that funny. It's just weird and hilarious to watch. After drinking from the eagle egg, he still doesn't get any better, so he's like, fuck, this shit ain't work. It's gonna come in later, I guess. He actually tries to get advice from Ramses, or tries to talk to Ramses, get him to actually give the kids an autograph at some point, because he sees Ramses in town not too long after drinking from the eagle egg, and Ramses is kind of a bitch. Like, he grunts. Bro doesn't talk. He just pushes him. Or like, yeah, he fucks up Ignacio for no reason. Ramses is a weirdo, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like Ramses. Not gonna lie. Even though Ramses is kind of a bitch, Nacho still has dreams of being a great lucha libre, even though he's also a priest. Those things don't mix. As the sister tries to tell him earlier in the movie, she's also really fine as hell. That scene where she's just like looking in at Jack Black and they're talking back and forth. Jack Black is stuttering a lot in that scene. I would be just like him in that situation. I can't hate. I am way too horny in a lot of these movie reviews. Y'all gotta get on me more for that. I'm sorry. Ignacio decides he wants to go to a party to network and become one of the actual like big boy luchadors. He wants to go pro basically. So him and Steven, that was his name? Yeah, but he has like a... Yeah, Steven. Him and Steven, they pull up to the party. Steven hops over the wall and he's like, bro, you're too fat. I can't carry you. So he disguises himself as a member of a mariachi band, goes inside and starts playing with the mariachi band. At the same time, Steven gets pretty much dominated by a torta. And if you don't know what a torta is, Google it, or I'll just tell you right now. A torta is like a heavy set Hispanic woman, pretty much. But this woman has like literal holes dug in the walls like she's a hamster or a rat. And she climbs around her house through these holes. I don't know who came up with that fucking idea, but that shit is comedy gold. This woman like stares deeply into Steven and he's like, bruh, like she wants him. She wants him bad, but he's not going for it. He don't really rock with the tortas, unlike me. He's not going for it. So he tries to fucking run off, but she climbs through a hole in the wall, gets to the bottom half of the house, and then like starts grabbing bro, gnawing at his leg and shit like a rat. Like she must really want his dick. I don't know how else to put it. It's something like that. But Ignacio disguising himself as a member of the mariachi band doesn't go too well because he manages to piss off Ramses for some reason, even though he's just being a charming little dude singing some good ass music, because Jack Black be singing, and I love it when Jack Black be singing. Ramses fucking gets pissed off at Ignacio, and Ignacio and Steven both get kicked out of the function, unfortunately, with no hose, no money, and yeah, they're cooked. Also, I forgot to mention a scene earlier, actually, where Ignacio tries to riz up the sister. There's a lot of scenes of that, honestly, but there's a funny ass scene where Jack Black is in like a skin tight fit, and basically Steven is like, bro, I'm gonna hire some of my boys to pull up and we'll pretend to jump you and you can beat us up so you can look cool in front of the hoes. So Jack Black like flirts and clenches his cheeks and shit. Hey, I don't know what kind of game he had in that scene, but game is game, I guess, because I think he might have bagged her at the end of the movie. It's ambiguous, but yeah. Anyways, after that whole party fiasco, Ignacio gets back to the monastery and realizes he's like, shit, I didn't cook breakfast. And also Steven is like, I hate all orphans in the world. And Ignacio is like, you take that back. So they fight and they have a little breakup. It's depressing. And then when Ignacio goes back in the monastery, he like prays for forgiveness, and then he comes to the conclusion that God wants him to wrestle for the children. And as soon as he comes to that conclusion, it's funny because like a candle falls and starts burning his damn robe off, which reveals that he's a lucha libre to the rest of them because his dumbass was wearing the lucha fit under his robe. And the whole priest is like, bro, you're a sinner, you gotta dip. So Nacho, of course, decides, I think it's time to dip. I gotta retire. I gotta give up wrestling forever. Actually, he doesn't really decide to give up wrestling fully. He says he's gonna do his one final fight, and after he wins cash, he'll buy a bus, or he'll buy shit for the orphanage. He'll give his shit up. During the match though, he kind of loses because the match is like 5 motherfuckers like all fighting each other, and he's the second to last one standing. And then after that match, the main dude who won that match gets his foot run over by Steven, who does that on purpose so Nacho can have a chance to actually win money for the orphans because Steven cares about Nacho. It's so wholesome, bro. They love each other. And then in the final scene of the movie, Nacho Libre gears up to fight Ramses, and Ramses is actually getting hyped up by his team and also getting oiled up like he's about to go to a Diddy party. Anyways, the match commences. Ignacio is getting his ass handed to him by Ramses. Of course, Ramses is like twice his size. Ramses is like Shaq compared to me. Like, I feel like I look like if you were to take a piece of Shaq. If Shaq could like reproduce asexually and have a tinier version of himself, then he'd probably look like me. But if you put us side by side, I'm cooked. Anyways, he gets his ass beat until the sister shows up with Chancho, who brought everybody to go see Ignacio. They all showed up to support him in a moment that comes full circle because Ignacio didn't have to pretend like he was something he wasn't for the church to accept him. They actually came back to accept him in the end, which was really sweet. And because of that, he uses that motivation to beat up Ramses and pull some crazy shit. I guess the eagle egg worked because bro starts flying through the air. he launches himself at Ramses, and yeah, he wins the match. And after winning the match, he buys the orphanage a bus and they go on a little field trip. And at the end of the movie, he looks over at the sister and the sister looks at him and they smile at each other. And Jack Black has a weird ass smile, but I hope he bagged that, because if he didn't, I'm gonna take it from him. No, I won't. I'm lying. Love you, Jack Black. But yeah, that is the plot of Nacho Libre.
Nacho!
Wrestling movies are actually very compelling for some weird reason. You have The Iron Claw, which came out like last year. Amazing. Zac Efron should have won an Oscar for that, by the way. Then you have something like The Wrestler from 2008, which is just as gripping as The Iron Claw and almost just as fucking sad. Both of those movies are some of my favorite movies ever. And then you have something like Nacho Libre, which is a wrestling movie, but not realistic at all. And it's so weird, it grips you the entire time. This is the outfit I would wear if I was a wrestler. I like to call it the fake, colorful MF Doom fit. That's a lie. I just came up with it for this video, but appreciate it. Look at it. You see the fit. You see I'm posted up. I'm a real wrestler for real. I could beat someone's ass in this entire outfit and probably die of asphyxiation or something, because this mask is pressing down on my nose. Back to Nacho Libre though. This movie is really fucking weird for so many reasons, but it's carried by Jared Hess's really interesting direction. Jared Hess is a Mormon director, which I learned a while back, which is kind of interesting because I don't know if many Mormons make movies. That's just an interesting career for a Mormon to have, I guess. But Jared Hess, he's directed this, Napoleon Dynamite, which is fucking one of my favorite movies of all time. And he also did Minecraft, which I low-key refuse to watch. I don't plan on watching it anytime soon. Don't ask me why. We not watching Minecraft. Anyways, this movie is carried because of him. And his weird style completely oozes throughout this movie. Jared Hess's movies are almost infectiously funny. Like, they grow on you. They start off and you're never really able to tell why they're funny, but they just are. They ooze with such a weird air of charisma, usually just because of the actors he picks. Because Jared Hess, his direction is interesting. And this movie has a lot of really weird, interesting cinematography, but it's hinged all on the back of Jack Black. And Jack Black is a fucking national treasure. To me, Jack Black is in my top 10 list of favorite white people of all time. If I were to be in a room with like, if I could choose like one white person to like be my father, it'd be Jack Black. Coincidentally, on that same list is Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon is fictional, but if Napoleon was real, me and bro would be homies for life. I would have his back. Anyways, this movie was also shot completely in Mexico, which is interesting. I like the fact that they actually went to Mexico, got all these kids, got all these actors, and actually sourced the local environment. It's really cool. This mask is really painful to wear, by the way. Continuing with the review. Fuck, this hurts. A lot of the shots are weirdly beautiful for this strange ass movie. There's a part actually, which I didn't mention in the plot breakdown, where after Ignacio fails his last wrestling match that he tries to do to win money for the orphanage, he goes out into the wilderness and Chancho's like, "Oh, you're leaving?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out to the wilderness and I'm gonna die." And that scene has a lot of random beautiful ass shots, which kind of just adds some strange aura to this movie. There's also a shot of a dude getting a corn on the cob thrown in his eyeball, which just, Jared, okay. Like, I respect a lot of this movie's weird decisions, and that's why I like it so much. When a movie is weird and commits to that thoroughly, it makes it 10 times more fun to watch, and this movie does that, and Jared Hess just does that a lot. Still, I don't know if he does it in Minecraft, because I have not seen Minecraft, but he does it here. And Jack Black's performance is another factor of that, because Jared Hess movies are only as fucking weird as their characters, or they're weird because of their characters. Jack Black brings so much dedication to the character of Ignacio. It's clear that this is all Ignacio wants to do. All he wants to do is wrestle and be a fire lucha libre and take care of these kids that he cares about so dearly. It's all for the orphans. It's about the orphans, you know what I mean? And in portraying that, Jack Black gives a genuinely passionate performance to this character. And this character's weird as shit. He's a weirdo. He low-key scares the hoes. But, I mean, yeah, he a cool dude. I like him. But yeah, besides that, I think I talked enough about it in fucking face form, and I want to move on to the voiceover segment because this mask is getting very fucking painful. So yeah, taking this shit off. My nose is finally free. Voiceover time. Overall, this film is really breezy. Honestly, sitting through it is like a really nice experience. It feels weirdly enough like watching this movie to me reminds me of just sitting and having a weird you know those weird moments you have with your friends where you just fire weird ass jokes back and forth and there's like a camaraderie? That's what this movie feels like. It feels like a warm hug from a homie you haven't seen in a minute. That's just because it's really wholesome, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the movie has a lot of moments throughout it where I'm just kind of like, damn, this is sweet. This is nice to watch. It just makes me feel good. It makes me feel nice. For one, Jack Black being fucking Jack Black, his comedic timing is amazing. His portrayal of Ignacio is just so full of warm, weirdo charisma. He brings such a nice everyman nature to it all, while also being kind of full of himself. He mixes those two together, and it's really fun to watch Ignacio interact with the other characters in the film, specifically his love interest. She is fine as hell. She has some big ass eyes too. Her eyes kind of remind me of Beans from the movie Rango, and Beans is one of my many hear me outs. That's a lie. I don't have that many hear me outs. Beans is just the one hear me out I have. But Jack Black plays his character with such a warm energy. Jack Black just himself has such a warm energy to him that it comes out in this character. And like I said, his comedic timing is crazy. I also love seeing Jack Black sing at random moments. Like, I just like it when he breaks out into song, like in Mario, where he breaks out and sings Peaches. And in this movie, there's moments where it's just Jack Black being Jack Black, but he's Ignacio, really. But his character and the actor kind of bleed together. Jack Black is really good at playing rather absurd characters and making them really likable. Not even just that, he is so funny. I love Jack Black so much. I can't get enough of the man. And this was pre Kung Fu Panda, pre Tropic Thunder. So this was really, in my mind, this is what I consider Jack Black's breakout role, because this is Jack Black working with Jared Hess, who he worked with again when they did the Minecraft movie together. Still haven't seen the Minecraft movie. I do not plan on watching the Minecraft movie unless I get extremely bored. Besides him though, this movie's warm nature is just carried by its core thing, which is the fact that Jack Black is fighting for an orphanage of children, which in and of itself is just a sweet concept. Anyone who is altruistic enough to do that for a group of kids who don't have parents has to be a good person. That's just how it is. Ignacio's a good person at his core, and that's why I love him as a character, and that's why he's really nice to follow. This movie doesn't really have anything to challenge you, of course, but it doesn't need to. It's a simplistic story of a man fighting about what he cares for while also having to stay true for himself, or stay true to himself. And that simple concept alone is enough to carry an entire simplistic movie. Jared Hess, especially for me, I've only seen Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, but it seems like Jared Hess is really good at building strange narratives with weird ass characters that just know how to entertain me and keep me locked in. Napoleon Dynamite is one of those movies that has a similar effect to me that this has. There's a lot of strange shit in both Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, which just make Jared Hess such an eclectic, weird ass filmmaker, which is why I was interested in seeing the Minecraft movie. Still not watching that movie unless I get bored. But with that being said, Nacho Libre is just one really unique piece of cinema. It doesn't get too much praise, which I'm not surprised about. This movie isn't really for that many critics, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just making an exception because I fucking enjoyed this movie from beginning to end. It's one of those movies I don't feel like you could have a bad time watching it, so I don't know where a lot of people are coming from when they hate on it for no reason. I mean, there's fart jokes and shit, but some of them are actually genuinely funny. Fart jokes can be hilarious if you do them right, or just body. I think like Jack Black is really good at doing the slapstick body falling over humor. Seth Rogen does that a lot too, but Jack Black in this movie has a lot of moments where just him using his body in certain ways is hilarious, like in his first wrestling match where he fucking rips his shirt off or does the anaconda squeeze. He gets his ass beat constantly throughout this movie, and it makes for some very entertaining sequences. Jack Black is really good at getting his ass kicked in Nacho Libre, but he also kicks ass a little bit sometimes. Not really though. He's pretty ass at kicking ass. At the end of the movie, there's a scene where he like flies, and that scene, weirdly enough, actually gave me chills. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about the music swelling and Jack Black soaring through the air like a fucking falcon or an eagle, because he drank from an eagle's egg earlier on. But there's something about that scene that just oozes some weird wholesome energy. Like, Ignacio's nowhere near badass, but he's gonna fight for these kids, and he's gonna look kind of cool doing it, and I like that. I like how our main hero isn't like overly cool, kind of just bumbles over himself a lot. He's a hero, but he's not a badass, and I like that juxtaposition a lot. That makes for a very unique main protagonist and a very unique movie. I guess I just like this movie because it has a lot of weirdly subversive elements like that. But yeah, this movie's dumb. I'm not gonna act like it's not dumb, but I'll never stop enjoying this dumb little movie, and because of the amount of enjoyment I get from this dumb little movie, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I'm not apologizing for that. This is the one weird ass movie that I will not apologize for unapologetically loving at all. I know I'm a film major and I'm supposed to dig deep into shit, I guess, but this is one of those movies I'm gonna just turn it on and let my brain like go to the back of my head. It has a lot of interesting filmmaking elements, I guess you could say, and a lot of weirdly nice cinematography or something, but I'm not gonna give you a rhetorical analysis on the themes and the filmmaking prowess behind Nacho Libre. All I'm gonna say is Nacho Libre is so much fucking fun that you probably won't be able to stop laughing like I was. Genuinely, this is Jared Hess made a funny ass movie. And no, I will not be watching the Minecraft movie anytime soon. That's all. 9 out of 10. Okay, thank you for watching me talk about Nacho Libre for a good like 10 to 20 minutes, maybe. Honestly, check out this movie if you haven't seen it in a minute. It's really fucking funny. But yeah, besides this review, there's also short films and skits and a lot of other random stuff on this channel if you want to check it out. You should check me out if you want to though. You have free will. So yeah, check me out if you want to. Besides YouTube, I'm also active on my Instagram where I post professional stuff and other random stuff I'm working on because I'm a filmmaker. And I'm active as shit on my Letterboxd where I literally write movie reviews immediately after I watch a movie. I just pull out my phone and I type a review. It's a lot of fun to do and I am literally addicted to that fucking app. But yeah, besides those two things, I appreciate you for watching the video. And yeah, as Jack Black would say in this movie, take it easy or take it easy. That accent was probably horrible, but yeah, have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hug, hug, big keys. Little hug, keys, keys, little keys.